I really thank y'all for being here for real, and Passion is inspired by my now latest ancestor, my father. And this was a message that he taught almost everywhere he went. The first time I heard it was actually at a church, and he's the person who didn't go to church, right? He didn't necessarily believe in the function of church because of the idea of the institutionalization of it. That's a different story. But I was sitting there as a young child and I was like, wow, my new favorite word is passion. I was really young. I'm inspired to carry this on because I believe that this is a transformational message. I remember when I was a child and I listened to it, and like I said, my favorite word became passion. I'm gonna be as brief as possible so we can get to some sound healing, which I think is very necessary right now. Mm-hmm. And I also want to acknowledge just everybody in the room. Your presence is valued. Something that I tell the children that I was told by some of my greatest teachers is that you can tell when someone is practicing great communication with you through their body language, through their visualization, through all of these things, right? And I want you to not use that with me right now. I want you to use that with your passion. How are you communicating with your passion? I want you to listen to me. Yes, I want you to listen to me, but I also want you to be intentional on how you are focusing and honing in on your passion. Passion, right? He broke it down in an acronym. P is for purpose.
That's it.
Right? So when you're thinking about your purpose and executing that in not every day, every moment, right? Are my actions leading me closer to my purpose, to that destination? What is that overall thing that the Most High has put in my soul? Before I even came to this body, what is the thing that the Most High put in my soul to accomplish on this planet? What is my why? And it's something that we ask a lot in acting class, you know, in terms of really being like, okay, the purpose of this moment, or even of this character, what's the long term? You are the main character in your own movie. I know we're going to have those lows, right? And we're going to have those highs as well. I implore you to learn and invest in those lows so that you don't have to face it again, you know? And that you can be closer aligned to your higher self and your purpose, because your purpose equals your higher self. A is for attitude. You ever, call somebody on the phone and they just brighten your day? Just based on the way that they are communicating with you. When it comes to your attitude and how you present yourself, and even the attitude that you move with and how you're moving with other people, it's so essential for us to make sure that we are checking thyself. In order to heal thyself, you got to check yourself. So knowing that when you show up with a positive attitude, or even when you show up with an attitude on, I'm going to get something done. I'm moving forward. I'm not going to sit in sorrow. I'm not going to sit in grief. I'm not going to sit in this, because I know my overall purpose is going to be hindered by a piss poor attitude. Okay? So then we have S. The first S is for selflessness and sharing. So the idea is that in this country, well, I'll say it this way. In this country, there's a consumer mentality. Take. Absorb. How much does this cost? Oh, this is how much you have to pay me. And sometimes we don't consider what we are giving, right? And I just want to say, shout out to Rapha again, because since I've been a part of it, and even before that, the reason why I was a part of it is because it was such a giving space. I remember I came in initially because there was a brother named Adonis who was organizing a charity baseball game, a softball game, to fund education for children to have.
And women.
And women?
Yeah.
That's a
pregnancy, black women, and the problems
with these hospitals and how they're neglected during pregnancy.
And that's a beautiful thing. I remember that day, and Ms. Shay, you remember it too. I'm going to talk about you real quick because it was beautiful. And I remember just like, I was going to see Rizza Islam, if any of y'all know him, and I couldn't.
Yes.
And I couldn't make the actual game, but I already paid for my ticket. I'm like, look, keep the money, blah blah blah. But like, yo, I love what you're doing. I told that to Adonis. He's like, yeah, man, you know, we were having this after party. You should come after. And that was my first time at Rapha, I believe, and I just remember how bright the attitudes were in such a dim moment, and that moment being this panorama, pandemonium situation going on. Those who can read in between the lines. You know? But, they already got me. Anyway, that's another story. But what I'm saying is that we have to put ourselves in positions to know that we have everything we need. So we have enough that we can give. And I'm not saying give from a place of, lack. I'm saying know your abundance. Once you're connected with that purpose and your attitude is sharp enough, then it's easy to just give. And of course, I just want to preface, you gotta make sure you're not pouring and wasting the energy, because there are some people who are here to drain you. There are those people, but that should not take you away from being passionate about loving and being selfless. The next S is for success. And when we think about success in terms of course, achievements and that feeling, that glorification that we get, it's like, ooh, I done did that, And something that I think is really interesting is how we measure success once again in this country, as opposed to, what does success mean for my soul, my spirit? Not hindered or molded by this reality or this capitalist society or this first world. Not success like, oh, I got, all this jewelry. I'm talking about the things that really make your soul glow. So, I is for integrity. I could go long on this one, but I think most of y'all who know me know what's up. It's so important to do what you said you was going to do. Because if you are practicing that with other people, that means you're practicing that with yourself. And I mean, you're practicing the idea of like, oh yeah, I'll pick them up, and you never picked up the dog from the vet. And now your girlfriend's mad or your boyfriend's mad because you ain't picked the dog up from the vet. Like, that just creates a snowball of chaos, not only for yourself because you keep making promises that you're not keeping, but it's also, you become untrustworthy. So integrity is such a vital part when it comes to not only living with passion, but also healing, self-care. We're here at Heal Thyself Sunday, and I think that we have to, look within ourselves in those moments where it's like, okay, I need to improve on this. I have more growing to do. I have more growing to do. I do, and I love it. That's what life is about. It's about the journey. So I don't want to beat nobody up with my words or my energy. What I'm really trying to do is just be that force in this moment that does shake you and say, hey, let's think about our purpose, right? Let's have a positive attitude, or even if there are negative attributes that come with it in order for us to get closer to our purpose. Let's really align with that purpose by making sure our attitude is correct, and then being selfless, and then that success will come. But I don't know a lot of successful people, and I don't mean just financially rich. I mean like, wow, you could feel their soul glowing once again. I don't know a lot of successful people where their soul is glowing who lack integrity. It's not there. It's not. Right? Always objective. Always objective. So it's like, what is my objective for today? This was actually in the notes, because a lot of the things that I had in the notes were kind of based on my dad's life story, which kind of was poetic, but I think that this is what the Spirit wanted me to do. And this is probably what Pops wanted me to do. He hid the iPad unless someone stole it. Either way. So objective. You know, when you're waking up in the rising, it's like, you know, what do you want? Like, what are you trying to accomplish today? My father, this is what my father was saying, alluding to the notes in the iPad. He's like, I wake up every day saying, how can I be better? How can I make this state better? He worked for the government. How can I make this state better? How can I be a better father? How can I be a better husband? How can I be better to people that I don't know? I always said my father could not live in New York City because he would literally, more than likely, I bet money on it, he'd stop everybody he's seen on the street and be like, how you doing? How's your day? What's your name? There were thousands of people at his funeral. And when we had the procession, stop traffic. And that's one of the reasons why I think that this is so powerful, because for someone to have that much influence the way he did, it's like, as his son, I gotta teach this teaching real quick. And so I give thanks for him, you know, and I give thanks for y'all for for being here. And as you take these words, once again, just think about that objective. Just think about, really, what am I accomplishing today? It's okay to have goals, and it's okay to not necessarily score every goal.
Right.
I mean, you dust yourself off and try it again. You know what I mean? Like we got it. We here. It's a part of the journey. You know, you're gonna get knocked in the face sometimes, and it's like, but you're gonna heal. You're going to, but stay focused on that objective. Stay focused on what this is what I want today. And that objective, of course, leads into the purpose, the overall. If the objective is like the fruits, then the purpose is the tree. Know that there's substance in every single thing that you align yourself with, as long as it's coming from a pure place, a passionate place, with a positive attitude, with selflessness, not being like, oh, it's all about me, it's all about me. And not to say that we don't need that balance, but we in this society, as opposed to Eastern cultures, we tend to be so, I'm this individual, but yet these individuals all want to be at the bar. But yet these individuals all want to smoke. But yet these individuals all want to do these drugs that are programmed by this government. There's a reason why they're legalizing all these things right now, y'all. And we gotta be honest with it. We gotta be come on, like it's scary. I mean, obviously, toxicity is all around us. It's all around us. It's inside of us. And so when we really don't hone in on the things that are plaguing our society, then we fall short of our greatness that we deserve, that we're destined for. We fall away from our passion. All right? And then we like it.
That's good.
and all of that, it comes with a lack of integrity once again, right? Because here we are, these individuals, but yet we succumb into everything that this government has programmed for us.
That's it.
I'm on N, and it's need fulfiller. Need fulfiller. So you know that you see an issue. It's easy to gossip. It's easy to cuss. It's easy to just, but how are you the problem solver? How are you fulfilling the need? How are you becoming that answer that this world needs? That, once again, is going into your passion, because there's something that your soul really wants. When you tune into the Most High, there's something that your soul is telling you to do, and a lot of us are straying away from that. If we weren't, then there'd be a lot of happier people in general around us in this world. You go on the subway and it's like a swamp of toxicity. I just want us to think about how we can continue to make our community better. This is not it. And there is no destination. It's a continuation. So once again, as I said before, think about the ancestors and think about the children, right?
Yes.
Think about the ancestors, think about the children, think about the elders. Because we are not here because we just spawned out of nowhere.
Right.
We are here because we got a lot of ancestors behind us.
On purpose.
Our parents got parents who had parents who had parents who had parents who had parents. That's a lot of love. That's a lot of love. And you can think of it in the hypersexual sense, or you can think about it in the creation sense, the most beautiful part of life.
Exactly.
And I just want to say, just to get this out, because something that's coming to me right now is it's really hard to just hug yourself and hug that passion when you're so deeply immersed in your traumas and you don't admit it and you don't realize that certain things that you're doing, it's almost feeding that subconscious trauma that's going on. So just to reiterate, P, purpose, A, attitude, S, selflessness, sharing, S, success, I, integrity, O, objective, N, need fulfiller. I'm Rootsgod Fender. My mommy named me Brian Shirley because she didn't want to use Fender as my last name. It's on my birth certificate, Fender Shirley, but I went to school by Brian Shirley. And my mom and dad didn't have the greatest relationship. They were friends. They were not together. My mom was married to someone else. My dad was married to someone else. I can allow all of these things to pollute my ability to activate, to be, to love. But I'm not making excuses, especially when my passion is on the line. That being said, thank y'all so much. I want y'all to just take some time. Actually, if before we get into the sound healing and before we just take a moment to breathe, let's just have a discussion.
Exactly.